Anxiety and depression are the most common emotional challenges that people face in terms of what we see here in the counseling center. Those are number two, or first and second are two top things that students bring to us. So it's a very common kind of challenge and very treatable. You know, there are a lot of different, whether it's medication or not medication or whatever, there's a lot of different ways to sort of come at anxiety or depression, and we do a lot of that work with students.
I first noticed issues with anxiety and depression when I was in middle school, and they came and they went, and I didn't really know exactly what to do with it or like how to cope with it. And as I got into high school, it became more evident my depression and not really being wanting to be with other people and stuff like that. So my mom took me to a doctor, and I was diagnosed with depression and high anxiety. So it just means that a lot of situations make me extremely anxious, and I'm just not a very social person because of that.
I have had anxiety for pretty much my entire life. The first time that I really started to realize it was probably around like age 6. And it started like a lot with like I didn't like to be alone. My parents both worked a lot, so I was really home with my sister a lot. But my sister has borderline personality disorder, which was just diagnosed about like maybe a year ago, a little less than a year ago, and she's had like a lot of misdiagnoses as well. She was diagnosed for schizophrenia, um, depression, anxiety, like everything under the sun. So like me and her like kind of have different issues. Like I blame myself and she blames others. So I've kind of been dealing with that for a really long time. It started probably in like fifth grade or so. My right now he's actually my nephew, but in the beginning he was just our foster kid. He ended up getting taken away from us from his mom because she went psychotic and things just got bad. So I got PTSD from that, which started my anxiety issues. And then around seventh grade, I started getting bullied really badly. So then my depression started kicking in, and it got to the point that I was terrified to go to school. I'd never wanted to go anywhere. I stopped eating for like months at a time. Like I was never eating anything.
Anxiety and depression are words that have been in my household since like I can't remember. My mom has both, and so in high school, I had like my first panic attack, and I had no idea what it was. I was driving, and it was horrible, and I was just like, I don't know where that came from. So I told my mom. She was like, okay, so you probably have anxiety.
So there are a lot of different things that can help with anxiety and depression. I think often just asking for help is a huge step, whether you're asking friends or family or coming to the counseling center. I think that a lot of people sort of try to wrestle with these things alone because there's some stigma, right? You know, like we're all supposed to be tough and strong. And a lot of it's about sort of balance, you know, and self-care and what are the things I need to do so that I'm um, attending to myself, taking care of myself, getting things in my life in balance. So that's a lot of the work we do.
So I tried finding other things like aromatherapy, which is putting scents in like the air to calm me down, and it focuses your mind on your breathing and like what you're taking into your body. So it's a good distraction. Also, yoga is also really good. I love doing yoga just because it really takes your mind off everything else going on and anything you're thinking about.
But I would say that the first step to coping with your anxiety is realizing that it's real and that it is validated, because a lot of people will try to unvalidate it for you, especially like depression as well. They'll call you lazy, they'll say you don't get up out of bed in the morning, but I've had experiences with that where you literally can't get out of bed because you are so suicidal or you're just emotionally and physically drained. So I would just say that knowing yourself is the most important thing. But the one thing that started really helping me was I kind of on my own, I started like thinking about like smoking pot because everybody's like, oh, like this relaxes you, like this will be okay. So then I started talking to my doctor and started saying like, oh, Massachusetts has medical, like is there anything about that like you guys are okay for? And she finally just said, she was like, um, maybe like you can get the card, we'll see how this works, we'll do everything. So then I did applications to get the card, and now I have a medical card, and I still take certain prescriptions that kind of just help with certain things specifically.
And I got put on a new one this year too. But now I smoke to go to sleep, and it just kind of relaxes me. And
Yoga and meditation kind of have very much brought me into knowing my heart is beating, my lungs are pumping, this, that, and the other, which definitely kind of calms down anxiety. And then depression, it's different types of mindfulness of just like, I had a good day. Someone gave me a hug today. That was nice. So it's really paying attention to the little things that like yoga and meditation have helped me tune into.